When the noble princess learned that her fiancé had abandoned her to get engaged to his first love, she wasn't angry at all. Instead, she sent a congratulatory gift worth millions. The two opened the box in confusion, only to find a 20-meter-long bill inside. It clearly listed every single item the princess had ever bought for him. The two most glaring items on the bill were a $1 million luxury suit and a limited edition Patek Philippe watch, both of which Benjamin happened to be wearing at that very moment. Under the gaze of everyone present, Benjamin was so ashamed he wished he could disappear, hurriedly using his sleeve to cover the watch on his wrist. The man anxiously asked her what she meant by this. The princess told him to take off every piece of clothing she had bought for him. Unable to resist, Benjamin had no choice but to strip off everything that wasn't truly his, one item at a time. But little did he know, even if he stripped completely bare, the princess had no intention of letting him off so easily. It turned out they had first met through an arranged marriage between their families. At the time, the high-status princess hadn't really been interested in him, as he was inferior in status. Until one day, she witnessed Benjamin, who had severe mysophobia, rescuing a stray dog in the rain. That scene instantly touched the heart of someone who had grown up in a world of pretense. During their 3-year relationship, she constantly gave her fiancé all kinds of expensive gifts. Yet Benjamin, with his mysophobia, never once held her hand. He even insisted on having the same dish split into 2 separate servings by the waiter. Despite this, the princess patiently waited, hoping he would change for love one day. But just the day before their wedding, she saw with her own eyes Benjamin drinking from the glass Alice had left behind. In that moment, she realized his mysophobia was just an excuse to avoid intimacy with her. She immediately called off the engagement and announced the wedding was cancelled. But Benjamin argued it was just a thoughtless mistake, claiming he still loved her and wanted to marry her. Succumbing to his sweet talk, the woman reluctantly agreed to proceed with the wedding. Yet, right in the middle of the grand ceremony, Benjamin's Alice suddenly burst in, wearing a wedding dress. The princess instantly realized she was there to disrupt the wedding, and without hesitation, Benjamin abandoned her and chose to elope with Alice, leaving her alone to become a laughingstock in front of everyone. Furious, the princess was determined to get revenge. With one phone call, she ordered her subordinates to short all of Benjamin's family assets. Back at her company, the princess checked Benjamin's social media, only to find him publicly posting a photo of him kissing Alice. She was determined to see how long he could last without her support. Just then, her assistant reported that the opposing family's stock price had already dropped 7%, wiping out nearly $400 million in market value. But the princess felt it wasn't enough and ordered the short selling to continue. Soon, Benjamin's parents showed up at her door due to the plummeting stock price. But instead of bringing their son to apologize, they rudely demanded she stop the short selling, verbally promising that they would make him break up with Alice. They still thought the princess would obey them like she used to, not realizing it had all been for Benjamin's sake. Now that their relationship was over, she had no reason to hold back. After dealing with the two, she had them thrown out. Finally, Benjamin couldn't take it anymore and called to beg for mercy, but she hung up on him without a second thought. Seeing no other way, Benjamin rushed to the rooftop of the woman's company. He stood at the edge of the rooftop and started a live stream. He accused the woman of being an extremely controlling control freak. He blamed her for psychologically manipulating him during their relationship, even controlling what he ate, wore, and where he lived. The princess watching the live stream found it ridiculous. After all, she was the one who had spent a fortune buying his favorite rare gifts from around the world. He never refused them. Instead, he gladly accepted every single one. Yet back then, all she wanted was a simple hug, which he consistently denied her. What's more ironic was that when he saw she had a male assistant, he grew jealous and forced her to fire all male employees who got close to her. And now he dared to accuse her of psychological manipulation? So she decided to stop targeting just his family business. Then the woman appeared in public view. Despite the voices all around insulting her, she completely ignored them and walked straight toward the rooftop. The moment Benjamin's mother saw the princess, she knelt and begged her to save her son. Then the woman stepped closer to Benjamin, one step at a time. He thought his act had made her scared and willing to compromise. But he didn't know the princess had been cold and unfeeling since childhood. She had used ruthless tactics to secure the position of board chairman from 7 heirs. Faced with such insignificant trash, she couldn't be bothered to care. She was certain Benjamin wouldn't actually jump, so she kept approaching until she stood right in front of him. Benjamin had planned to fake jumping to scare her and force her to yield. Down below, Alice was secretly recording the whole time. But what no one expected was, the princess suddenly grabbed Benjamin by the collar and acted as if she would push him off. Benjamin was instantly terrified out of his wits and begged for mercy repeatedly. Only when the woman felt she'd had enough fun did she harshly shove him backward. Before leaving, she left him with a fierce warning. The game has only just begun. That thrilling scene was recorded by Alice and posted online, but the woman faced the overwhelming public outcry with complete indifference. Even as her company's stock price plummeted because of it, even as the shareholders urged her to stop, she paid no attention, simply counting down the time quietly. Because tomorrow, the surprise she had specially prepared for Benjamin and Alice would arrive. Meanwhile, Benjamin, thinking he had the upper hand, sought her out again. He even handed her an invitation to his and Alice's Alice's engagement party. Benjamin cut to the chase and laid out his conditions. To settle the turmoil, she must attend their engagement party and apologize to them publicly. He promised to clarify things to netizens via live stream. He claimed both companies could gain nationwide fame from this and achieve a win-win situation, but he emphasized that he needed to see her sincerity first. So Benjamin demanded the woman transfer $100 million to his account and hand over the emerald crown his family treasured. He planned to give it to Alice. The woman agreed without hesitation, but this didn't mean she was compromising. On the contrary, she intended to use this engagement party to ruin Benjamin completely. Soon, the engagement party arrived the next day. Benjamin specially invited major media outlets to broadcast the event live. Then he messaged the woman, giving her only 10 minutes to appear. But he didn't know these 10 minutes would be the last time he could afford to smile. At that moment, the woman, dressed in luxurious formal attire, was leading her subordinates step by step toward the banquet hall.